Say hi, guys. Hi. So we're super pumped to have our girls here live, but we're also excited to have you guys watching on video. So tonight we're going to talk about being the CEO of our business and what that means. And pretty much there's a lot of things that could go into being a CEO of your business. But one of the things that a CEO does is they control the controllables of their business. So in our business as consultants and directors, there's a lot of things that are not controllable. So what are, like, from the live audience here, what are some things that you don't feel like you can control with your business? Just yell some things out. Cancellations. What else? Snow. Darn snow. Response, how people respond to you. What else? Anybody else? How much they buy, if people buy or not. It's good. Yeah, so there's a lot of uncontrollables, but we're going to talk about the things that we can do that we can control. So when Mary Kay started her business out, I think this is really cool. This is a really cool part about who we are and how our company was founded. So Mary Kay didn't come up with this product and she wanted to get it into the marketplace. That was not how our company was founded. She wasn't like, I want to sell makeup. Mary Kay actually was in the field of direct sales for the majority of her adult life. That's how she made her money. And she was in the field. She had experiences. And the whole reason that Mary Kay came to be is because she wanted to write a book about ways that she would do it different. And based on what she came up with of how she would do it different is where our company comes from. The whole business plan comes from experience, like tried and true in the trenches experience. So when she started our company, it wasn't like, is it going to work? She knew it was going to work because she knew that the things that she had laid out for us and the business plan and how things would work, she had been there before. She knew how it worked. That is like where our new territories comes in. She, in all the companies that she had been with before, they had territories. And so she couldn't, like at one point she had to move her entire family to like a different city and she lost all of her customers. And so when she knew when she was going to start her business that she was going to have a business where women could service anyone in the United States. So that's where our new territories comes from. Inventory, the ability for us and the choice that we have to have inventory came from her holding appointments and people changing their mind by the time she was able to deliver the product to them from when they had bought it at the appointment that she had had with them a week or two before. And she said, I want to be, if I could have product on hand and I could service people on the spot, they can't change their mind. Makeup and cosmetics and skincare is an impulse buy. That's why the majority of some of our big companies do a free gift with purchase if you buy so much, because they want you to buy so much and they know they're not going to lose money because you're going to buy over what you went in there for. So they put the dollar amount, like you get this much free if you spend $25. That's to get you in because they know it's an impulse thing. And once you see more, you're going to want the rest of it. So that's where the inventory came from. So everything that Mary Kay, the business plan, teaches us to do, it's because she went before us and she had done it before. So there's nothing that a sales director or the Mary Kay business plan is going to tell you to do that isn't something that you should trust. Like you can almost like, this works because they've been doing it for 53 years this way. And we were taught by someone who absolutely knew what she was doing. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's see. Okay. That was like a lot for one page. Okay. So what are the things that we can control? There's a couple things that we can control. We're going to talk about three things today. We're going to talk about coaching. We're going to talk about pre-profiling, and we're going to talk about the individual consultation. Okay. Those are three things that when you do those three things, there's a lot of controllables that are played out within those three things. So coaching is working with a hostess to make sure that it's the best party for her. That's like once you book it, you stay in connection with her until that party holds. Mary Kay used to say a party worth booking is a party worth coaching. Okay, so I don't know about you. I'm just going to speak from experience here. There's been a couple times that I've like booked a party and you maybe not called her until the night before the party. Hey, we still on tomorrow? Well, guess what? Those parties typically don't turn out so well. So we're going to talk about that. Pre-profiling. Pre-profiling is actually working with the guests that are invited to the party and making sure that you're building a relationship with them And it's basically the insurance behind your appointment holding. So we're going to talk about that. And then the individual consultation is basically your one-stop shop. Everything that you want to have happen at your party comes together at that one-on-one consultation at the end. I always say, if you're not going to hold the one-on-one at the end of the party, you might as well not go, because so much of what you want for your business comes from that individual consultation. Okay, so pre-profiling. Let's talk about coaching. Go back. Sorry, rewind. Okay, this video is going to be the most hilarious video ever. Okay, so coaching, a class worth booking is a class worth coaching. Okay, I think a hostess will book to help you or to help the hostess. I feel like that's the majority reason why you will get bookings from appointments, is because she wants to help you because you're talking about your goals and your dreams at the beginning, or she just wants to help her hostess get some free product. I don't know what happened. I'm back. Okay, hi. I don't know what happened, but that screen came up. Okay. But she'll book that way. She'll book for that reason, but she's going to hold it because of what's in it for her. Whenever I've gone to any party and I have agreed to have a party from that party, it's been because I wanted to help my hostess friend get more stuff for free. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I never book a party because I want free stuff for me. Now, I leave the party and I'm on my way home and I'm typically like, why did I say I would do that? I don't have time to clean my house. I don't even know who I'm going to invite. Like, I automatically go into, what in the world have I gotten myself into? Now, if she's a good consultant, whatever she's selling, he, she, whatever, if they're good, they're going to connect with you immediately and to reel you into what you're now going to get out of this since you agreed to help your friend. Okay, so that is why coaching is so important. If you miss that step, typically she's already canceled on you in her mind and it goes on for a week and she just hasn't told you yet. Okay, so you have to come in like the next day, thank her for holding that appointment for you, send her a love note, but I would connect live with her. Even if you were awesome enough to get the guest list from her at the individual consultation, you have to get in touch with her the next day and love on her and thank her, tell her how much this means to you, and then start to talk about, you know, the free product that she can earn and what are some things that would excite you about earning for free. So you're kind of like finding out what she wants out of this and what would excite her, because I don't care, any woman, even the woman who's like, I don't like makeup, blah, 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 she will get excited about something. There's something that would excite her. It may just be having an appointment with her girlfriends. You know, that might be the thing that's exciting her, is gathering her people together. So whatever it is that's going to excite her, you want to find out what that is. Okay, so that's coaching. Part of coaching is getting the guest list. I know a lot of people have anxiety and fear centered around this step in the process. What you need to just decide is that this is a necessity for the success of your appointments. If you do not get the guest list, you have no chance of any insurance to this appointment holding. You've lost out on, potentially thousands of dollars if you choose not to get the guest list. So you just have to decide, you know what? Tell yourself, I'm a CEO. I'm going to get this guest list. And when you make it nonchalant and no big deal, they think nothing of it. And I'll tell you this too, when you get in the habit of getting the guest list and pre-profiling your parties and you're booking off of appointments, she was pre-profiled. She knows what you're going to ask her people because you asked her before the party. So it's this circle of, oh yeah, I'll give you my friends and family's number. Sure. I know what you asked me. You weren't weird. It didn't freak me out. She's not going to have a problem giving you her guest list. Now, if you like don't coach and pre-profile, like the first couple parties might feel weird asking them for that because you didn't pre-profile them before the party. So they're like, well, you didn't pre-profile me and I'm here and we're having a good party. Why do you need my people's, number? Does that make sense? So once you get in the role of it, it's like no big deal. So let's kind of talk about some ways that you can get the guest list. I know some of you are like super awesome at this and you're like, you've got this part. I just tell them that I need it because I need to check in with everybody that might be coming and ask them some specific questions about their skin, any allergies they might have. I need to know that kind of thing beforehand. So can I grab, your guest list? But typically what I do is when I'm booking it, whether it's at the appointment, I'm booking from bookings, or I'm on the phone with someone and they've agreed, to have an appointment, I just say, and we've gotten to the point where she's like, yeah, I'll invite some people, whatever. I just ask, like, who are your favorite people? Who are the people you're going to be including? And she's like, oh, I'll probably invite like my mom. Also, what's your mom's name? Okay. And I write like Sue down. And she's like, oh, probably, I guess I could ask the neighbors. Also, what's your neighbors' names? So I've got that connection. I've got that name. I might not have the phone number yet, but I've got her list of people. So there's a couple different ways that you can get this list. There's a couple different things that people are doing nowadays. This is 2016. I've been trying a couple different things out because I want to know like what people are responding to. So I sent a message from one of my sister directors here recently to you guys in Voxer, and she's having people fill out a skincare survey. She creates a Google Doc, a Google form, and it's a link, and she can send that to the hostess or put it in a group text format with everybody, and then they fill out the survey. And if I was going to do that, I would say, if you fill out the survey if your people fill out the survey by so-and-so time, I'm going to have a goodie bag for everyone that fills it out. Some people are creating Facebook groups with their little party, so you could post the link in there. What I've been doing most frequently lately is I always say, like, I'm going to check in with you a couple days before the party, and I'm actually going to ask that you just throw me into a group text with all the ladies that you're inviting, and I'll ask them some questions in the group text, and they'll be able to get back to me individually. I have not had one person say, I'm not going to do that. Like, they're like, okay. So back in the day, rewind a couple years, we would get their phone numbers and we would call each person. And I'm telling you what, you guys, even if they fill out a survey, even if they're responding in this group, whatever you've got going on, even if you're just texting them, there is something about a live phone call with you and her that starts to build the relationship with them. So that's like guest list. I'm going to talk a little bit more about pre-profiling in a second. But to wrap up coaching, you really want to just convey to her your gratitude for the appointment. I know handwritten notes are a big deal. Sending her like a red stamp, thank you for having this. This is going to be awesome if you're going to text it. But there's power in the handwritten note. There's power in your voice and gratitude. And then making sure that you've got that guest list and making sure she's excited about her free stuff. When I book an appointment from an appointment, she gets the lookbook. I want her to start thinking about what she wants for free. So she has to have a lookbook in order to do that. That's also how she's going to get outside orders for you. But if you're not giving out lookbooks to the people who are booking parties for you, I really don't know what you're kind of expecting there. She's not, I think of any party that you've had for anyone in the past. Like, would you have been even halfway excited about having that for her if you didn't even know what the cool new products were? Like, you didn't have that would be crazy. So you want to have like a hostess packet put together. So most of you know this. Like, this is like, yes. But okay, so pre-profiling. So here's what I think. I think pre-profiling a party increases the success of that party by 75%. In fact, if you don't pre-profile parties, please don't be upset that parties are canceling, okay? Because it's 75% your fault that they're not holding, because that's how important pre-profiling is. And for me, when I first started, I was petrified of pre-profiling. I just thought that was the craziest thing, was to ask someone for numbers of friends and family. But I've been porched a couple times, like show up and nobody's there. She tells you she has 10 people coming and you go and there's 2. You do enough of that and you realize, oh, there might be something to this pre-profiling thing. I want to know what I'm walking into. If I book an appointment, and like when I was working full time and I only had like 2 days a week to hold appointments, I'll be darned if I didn't want to be sure that that party was holding on a Thursday night. I wanted to know that that party was holding on Thursday night. And so what you do is you book and you start to coach. And if she's playing ball with you and getting you the guest list, and then you have the guest list, and then you are connecting with all those ladies, you guys, if the party is going to be a party or not, or it's not, and you can like ditch it and move on and replace it. Does that make sense? Like, there's no more wondering if things are going to hold. Like, for instance, this is just an example. It happens to be January. We have a huge snowstorm, maybe coming tomorrow. I have 25 guests scheduled for Saturday down here. So do I want to live in La La Land, like, is this happening? Are they coming? No, I don't have time for that. Nobody has time to live in La La Land. So I actually text, even though I've pre-profiled them, we're ready to rock. Like last week, early this week, we're good. I actually texted them again yesterday, and I flat out asked, like, what are your snow fears? Literally, that was my text. Like, what are your snow fears? I'm coming no matter what. If the snow's going to hold you back from coming, just let me know. And honestly, every single one of them got back to me within, I would say, 10 minutes about whether or not that was going to be an issue for them. And they're all say they're coming. But the point is, I want to know if it's worth me shoveling my driveway as the snow's hitting at midnight. I want to know if I need to have my car packed up and ready to rock. Like, I want to know. I like to be prepared. And that's what pre-profiling does. You start calling people or texting people, or you throw out a message in like this group text that she puts you on, and people are like, what are you talking about? What Mary Kay party? Well, that tells you she hasn't invited anyone, so it gives you the upper hand in knowing what's going on. I'm going to tell you a quick story, and then we'll move on from pre-profiling. This was after I had been porched a couple times, and after my parties of 10 were like parties of 2, and I'm like, I'm going to pre-profile. Okay, so I started pre-profiling, and it was painless. It was like, oh, this isn't so bad. So I had connected, and this is when you had to get phone numbers and call them all. It's like pre-texting, pre-smartphones. I know, love it. So I called everybody, and everybody was like really excited. She hadn't, invited them, and like they were excited, and they were all coming. And then I connected with my hostess a couple days, before the party, like after I'd pre-profiled everybody. And I'm like, I'm really excited. Like everybody's like super pumped. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna have to cancel. And I'm like, oh no, why are you gonna have to cancel? And she's like, like nobody's coming. And I'm like, oh, that's like weird, because I just talked to like so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so, and they're all coming. And she's like, oh, like she pretty much had forgotten that she had given me their numbers, and like I had connected with all of them, but basically something better maybe came up on her agenda, and she was gonna cancel and then probably tell all of her friends that I was the one canceling. But because I had pre-profiled it, she was like, oh, good. And the party held. So had I not pre-profiled that party, I would have been probably porched again. Porching is not fun. You can control porching by pre-profiling. Let's see. I think the most important thing that I find with pre-profiling is you start to build a relationship with the people that are coming. People that are security minded, they need to feel safe with what they're walking into. They need to know what's going to happen. And when you can connect with them, find out what moves them, what excites them, you just open a door of trust and security with people. And people like that. People want to know what they're walking into. Just like, on Thursday nights, we're going to talk about in one of the sessions, like how to invite people to events and how to get guests to things. But that's one thing that you have to be like, this is what's going to happen. This is what you can expect. And that's important, because you don't want people walking into a room like, what's going to happen to me here? Like, you want to tell. And that's why we start every event with, this is who you might be. These are the different types of guests that might be here, because we want people to feel like safe and secure. Okay. Let's see. The last thing is, when you pre-profile a party, there are obviously going to be people that are invited that can't come. So this is not about getting the guest list of her yeses. Okay. This is about getting the guest list of all the people she's inviting. Okay. Because some of the people that she invited aren't going to be able to come. And if you have the whole invite list, people who aren't able to come can still place an order, and even though they're not able to come. So when I pre-profile someone, all I'm doing is calling them and asking the left-hand side of the pre-profile cards, the customer profile cards. Those are the questions that I'm asking them. But in the beginning, I'm asking, is Susie going to be able to count on you to be there Friday night? Well, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. Johnny's got a ball game, and it's his last ball game of the season, and I just really can't miss it. I'd be like, oh, it's totally fine. It's totally fine. Well, here's what I'm doing. There's a couple ladies that can't make it on Friday night, and so I'm actually gifting a makeover and a gift certificate to you from Susie. So when would you like to get together for your makeover? We can totally get together when it's convenient for you. And so you can book people that were never going to show up at that appointment. Like, you never would have had access to them if you have them ahead of time. So does that make sense? So you're not like, who's coming? I need their phone number. No, who do you want to invite? And And so that's important. And then also, like, I was pre-profiled for a Pampered Chef party that my cousin was having one time. I wasn't able to make it. We had some other commitment, but the lady called me and she was like, "Oh, you're not gonna be able to make it." I'm like, "No." She's like, "Well, do you want to order anything to go towards her party sales?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I ordered like $50. I'm like, shoot, that girl was like good. Like, I was in Mary Kay. That was in my like beginning, like early stages, like fear of pre-profile. I'm like, that girl just pre-profiled me. Like, and she did a really good job. So anyway, all right, let's see. I love that I have notes. Okay. Wow. All right. I've like gone through pages of notes without even looking at them. It's impressive. Okay. I have this written out for, okay, so this is the point of this whole page, is if you do A, B, and C, you're going to be successful. Okay. So I'm telling you, if you do A, B, and C, you're going to be successful. People have told me, Amber, if you do A, B, and C, you're going to be successful. Most of the time, this is what we do. We do A and C, or we do B and C, or we do A and B. And we're leaving this component out that we feel like isn't very important. We could get away with not doing it. And we find ourselves frustrated because we're doing A and B. But if we did A, B, and C, we would be successful. So I want to put the importance on that third little thing that you may not think is very important, but could be the one thing that's holding you back from success in this business. Okay, I'm guilty of it too. There's a couple things that I haven't been doing that Julia has said, if you do A, B, and C, you're going to be successful. And I'm like, C's not very important. Well, guess what? Like, guess what? They're all important. And so I am the type of person now that I'm like, if somebody tells me if you do A, B, and C, you'll be successful, doggone it, I'm going to do A, B, and C, because I don't have time to mess around anymore. And you get to the point where something just keeps not clicking in your business and you're like, you get so frustrated, you're like forced to fix it. And then you're like, okay, I'll do it. And then when you start doing it, you're like, oh, well, it wasn't that bad after all. And actually, it makes my life so much more pleasant. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So individual consultation. Oh, it's my favorite part of the party. I love it. Okay. So it was my biggest fear in the beginning, was like sitting with people individually after an appointment. So how many of you feel really good about your individual consultations? Raise your hand. Say woohoo. So I can hear you. Awesome. Half the room. Okay. How many of you are still scared to do them? Anybody still scared? Say, yeah, some. Okay. So this goes back to, you're the CEO of your business, and CEOs do individual consultations. So say that. Say, I'm the CEO of my business. Isn't that powerful to say that? Like, it sounds ridiculous to like, say it. I'm the CEO of my business. Would a CEO not have a flippant individual consultation because it makes them feel a little squirmy? No, I'm sure they wouldn't be the CEO if an individual consultation made them feel squirmy. Like, we are no longer letting things feel squirmy. We're going to do them. So the individual consultation, I mean, you're leaving thousands on the table. You're leaving party sales on the table. You're leaving future bookings on the table, and you're leaving future team members sitting in that room if you don't do the individual consultation. Now, there's a couple different scenarios where you could say, I mean, I've been there before where it's been like, yeah, it's been hard. It's been challenging to do an individual consultation, but I can guarantee you, no matter what, you can have that individual consultation. If you've made up your mind ahead of time that you're going to have an individual consultation at every single appointment that you do, you walk in, you first decide where it's going to be, you visually figure out it's going to be over there, or it's going to be over there, or wherever. You don't have to go into rooms and lock doors. You just have to have a separate spot away from the table. I have done skincare classes in studio apartments where literally we're doing a skincare class around a coffee table, and all I have to do my individual consultation is over there behind a recliner, but I still do the individual consultation. So what you have to decide is the most important thing that you do at your skincare class, aside from maybe connecting with people. That's very important that you connect with people. But when you do the individual consultation, you are able to get everything done And so you don't spend a lot of time on the phone because you booked. If you book 2 from every appointment that you go to, you're multiplying your bookings. So if you book 10 and you hold 5, because only half of what you book is going to hold, right? Everybody's kind of in agreement with that. That's controllables. Numbers are controllable. But if you hold those 5 and you book 2 from each one, you're back at 10. So you're always moving forward with 10 things on your date book, even if only 5 are holding. Does that make sense? And that's going to happen at the individual consultation. Let's see. I truly believe that every single one of you are here because someone was brave enough to have a conversation with you, typically at an individual consultation. If I look back, like even Kelly, who came, like I remember the individual consultations that led to Kayla, her girlfriend that introduced her to me. And so you have to be brave enough. And I left a message about this, like my fear of like, obviously I have a fear of roofs that I really didn't know that I had. It only takes 20 seconds of insane courage. So typically that 20 seconds of insane courage is saying at the beginning of the party, at the end, we're going to have individual consultations and I'm going to meet with each of you over there. And that's it. It's over. Guess what they know is happening? They know you're having an individual consultation. They know it's going to be over there. And you look like a weenie if you don't do it at the end. Like you just lost all professionalism if you choose not to have the individual. So you're like in. Like I got up on the roof and I was like, okay, I'm on the roof. I either die up here, starve myself, or I get the job done and I get off the roof. Like once you're on the roof, you gotta like either do the job and get off or die there. So we're not going to die between we're going to have an individual consultation and the end of the party. Okay. People want to be engaged at a party and they want to be like led. They want to look at you as the professional. So they want you to lead the appointment. Even if they're chatty catties and having a good time, you're the girl that reels it back in. You're the professional. This is your job. And so that's what an individual consultation is you reeling it all back in and you moving forward. Okay. So the more professional you look, the better. And I'm telling you, the more professional, you look more professional when you do an individual consultation. There's a lot of different reasons. But basically you're going to sit down and you're going to ask these ladies 6 things. Okay. You can throw in other things there, but then you don't want your individual consultation session to last an hour and your skincare class lasted 30 minutes. I believe your individual consultation could be the longest part of your party, but you want to keep it brief. You want to keep it engaged or people are going to leave while you're sitting over here with them. So you got to get everything done, but you got to be like on it. Okay. So number 1, did you have a good time tonight? Say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're taught, and this is not like tricking people, but shake your head. Yes. Did you have a good time tonight? People follow your movements. Okay. Did you have a good time tonight? At this point, they've brought over their profile card. So I say, let me see your card. What was your favorite thing you tried tonight? And I'm looking at her profile card. I'm looking at her wish list, her top 4 things, her sets, while she's telling me what her favorite product was. And then the third is, how does your face feel? And I literally touch my face. How does your face feel? And she's like, good. I'm like, touch it. Does it really feel good? Yeah, it feels really good. She touches her face. Okay. What do you want to learn about at your second appointment or your custom consultation, custom color consultation? Okay, you ask it assuming it's going to happen. Okay, especially if you've been talking about the second appointment through the whole appointment. She assumes it's happening. She knows that it's an option for her to have a second appointment. So when you sit down, you're like, what do you want to learn at your second appointment or your custom color consultation? She's probably going to give you an answer. 8 times out of 10, she's going to say, oh, I don't know, I'd like to learn about my eyes, or, you know, I kind of want to learn how to do that contouring thing, or I've never been able to do my brows right. She's going to give you something. So you write it on the profile card and you have your date book there. And you say, well, let's go ahead and set it up. What's good for you? Weeknight, weekend, whatever your 2 options are. This week, next, giving her always 2 options within 2 weeks. Come to you, come to me, meeting, go to her house. You know that drill, right? That's a whole nother video. All right. But you take her to that second appointment. If she says, you know, I really don't need a second appointment. I'm good. You're like, awesome. Totally no big deal. Move to the next thing. What would you like to take home? Oops, I messed up. I can mess up too. Okay, you ask what you want to take home before you go into booking. Okay, and there's a reason. Okay, edit, delete, rewind. Okay, so did you have a good time tonight? Let me see your card. What was your favorite thing? How does your face feel? What would you like to take home tonight? What would you like to take home? Practice that. What would you like to take home tonight? You didn't say order. You didn't say buy. What do you want to take home tonight? That's a privilege of having inventory. What would you like to take home tonight? You get to say that at the beginning of the party if you have inventory. If there's anything you guys want to have it here with me tonight. You're not pushy. You're not weird. You're not asking to buy anything. Not that if you ask them to buy anything, you're weird or pushy. But I'm just saying, for me, being fearful of being pushy, that was always really easy for me to say. Is there anything you all want to take home tonight? I got it with me. No big deal. So that you ask first. You take the order. You let them buy what they want. You're looking at their profile card. And you're seeing their wish list. You're seeing the 4 sets. Because when you do the table close, which happens before the individual consultation, you're going through the set sheet. And she's picking, if hot, handsome hunk with all this money, we're here tonight, and you can take home whatever you want. What were at least the top 4 sets that you would love? She's made that, and she's writing that down somewhere on the profile card. So when she comes over, what would you like to take home tonight? Whether she orders everything that she had circled or whether she orders a mascara, you write it down, you get the money, you give her the sales ticket, and then you ask, what would you like to learn at your custom consultation? Okay, so she's either going to answer that with, I want to learn this or that, or she might say, I really don't need it. If she's someone who says, I really don't need it, or I'm really not into that, and she didn't go home with everything that she wanted, that's when you can say, well, would you like to get sets 2 and 3 for free? Oh, maybe. How do I do that? So that's how you book if money is maybe an issue for them. Now, if she buys the whole queen bag and she's not into a second appointment, the only thing else that I would go with her is if she says, I really don't feel like I need a second appointment, or I'm good. I'm like, well, do you want to get together real quick and I'll show you how to use the color that you're going home with tonight? That would be the only additional place that I personally would take her. If she tells me no, she doesn't want a second appointment, but she bought a bunch, I would say, well, do you want to get together real quick and have me show you how to use all this? She might be like, no, I'm good. Totally fine. And then that's it. I'm done at that point. Hopefully she's given me some referrals or something that I can call. But if she wants a second appointment, awesome. If she doesn't want a second appointment but didn't go home with everything that she wanted, that's when I'll be like, well, do you want to get, maybe sets 2 and 3 for free? You can earn up to $100 in free product by having a little session like this. So that happens. One other booking objection that can happen is, say that you're at a party and it's like social queen having this party. The people who they buy like cookies at Kroger and throw them out on the table and they're hosting, or you have the people that like lay it all out. I can think of a couple in the room. They're like queen hostesses. Okay, so when someone comes to a party of a queen hostess, she may not want to book a party because she's not queen hostess. Okay, so you have to be like conscious of that. If you're at queen hostess's party and she laid a buffet out and there's like people are so excited to be at her house and she's like, I love being a hostess, and then you're asking Susie, her friend, to book, and she's not queen hostess, she may not want to book a party because she doesn't want to live up to the expectation of what just happened there. So just be conscious of, if you're at Susie queen hostess's house and you're trying to book Susie B and she's like not queen hostess, you want to let her off the hook and be like, you have to be aware of what's going on, and there's like 30 people here or whatever. You just have to say, it doesn't have to be like this. It could just be me and you and like 2 of your girlfriends. No big deal. Like reel her in with like, that does not have to be what just happened here. Because a lot of people, you also have to be conscious of the fact that some people don't want to host at their home because they're embarrassed of their home. They might be remodeling their home. They might be living with their parents. Like there might be a situation where they don't want to host. So that's why I always offer, do you want me to come to you or do you want to come to me? And if they want to come to me, it's here at the studio or at the training center, wherever you're at. So you just have to be conscious of things when you're booking. You can't assume that they don't want to book because they don't like you. There's a lie that's in your head. You can't assume that they don't want to book because they didn't have fun that night. That's a lie that you're telling yourself. It's probably something along those lines. Okay, so you kind of have to be cognitive of that and like recognize that those things could be happening and be inviting enough to overcome that with her without being like, well, why don't you want to have a party? That's like, you cannot say that. If you say that, you're off my team. Okay. So, I know, aren't you guys? Okay, the last thing, and this is important. This is really important. This is really, really important. Are you guys ready? Okay. Set up some interviews. Set up some interviews. Share the opportunity. Don't be selfish and keep it to yourself. Set up some interviews. Who do you set up interviews with? So the last question is, earlier how I said I was going to pick a couple people to give me their opinion about the opportunity. Well, I totally picked you. So there's a couple ways that you can do this. Some people share the opportunity with everyone. So during the game, when we play the W and we're watch what I do, you can say, I'm going to ask everybody that's willing to watch some information about the company and give their opinion. So you can say that. But then if you say that at the individual consultation, you have to ask everybody, okay? Or if you're going to ask 3 of them, you kind of have to ask the 4th one, because then she thinks there's something wrong with her, and then her feelings are hurt. So you have to be conscious of that. Or you can say, I'm going to pick 2, and you pick 2. But I can guarantee, this is so funny to me. I used to feel so insecure about asking people, and I would get my nerve up to ask at least 2 of them, because those are the rules. Those are the rules, and I follow the rules. You have to ask 2 people. So I'm I'm going to ask 2 people at every appointment, and I would ask 2 people, you guys. And what I started to realize is I would hurt people's feelings by not asking everybody, because those 2 would go back to the table with their little choices packet, and the other girls would be like, she didn't ask me. What's wrong with me? So I started. Earlier how I said, I was going to pick a couple people. I really would love to get your opinion. It's kind of secretive, and she kind of thinks it's a secret, so she doesn't go back and share with everybody. It's it's a game. It's a really fun game. Okay, but what's the rule? How many people do you have to ask? 2. Okay, can you promise me you're going to do it? Put your bold panties on and just do it. Okay, you are leaving your future on the line. You're leaving them there. There's so you might recruit a Gloria Mayfield Banks as your skincare class, because where does Gloria say that she was recruited? She said she found me at a skincare class. She found me at a skincare class. She found Gloria Mayfield Banks at a skincare class. Okay, I can think of a couple of you that were at a skincare class. Chrissy was at a skincare class. Tanya Lovelace was at a skincare class. Jessica Fisk was at a skincare class for me. You guys, you were at skincare classes. Cool people that need to be on your team that secretly are yearning for something like this are at your skincare classes. The best place to recruit people are at your skincare classes, because they know what their job is. They just saw you do it. Okay, you're not recruiting people at malls. You're not recruiting people at Starbucks. You're recruiting people at skincare classes. So you have to ask at least 2 people from every appointment. Okay, now there's this new thing going on where you get people to fill out a survey at the party. Okay. That is a concept. It might work for some people. However, if they fill out a survey at the appointment, their opinion has been given, right? Why would they need to get together with you and give their opinion again? If you that might work for some personality tests. If you ask me, who's a D, to give my opinion after I already wrote my opinion down, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be annoyed, and I'm going to say, I already gave my opinion. And I'm not trying to be mean or nasty. I'm just saying, I already gave my opinion. Do you want my opinion again? We can get together if you need my opinion again, but I already gave my opinion. So if you fill out these surveys at the appointment, that's okay. But it's hard to get her to meet with you for coffee to get her opinion. Does that make sense? Okay, so I want to get your opinion. Okay, awesome, great. I'll do that for you. What do I have to do? They're usually going to say, now, what do I have to do? Because they heard you, but they didn't hear you. Do you ever do that? Listen to someone, but you really didn't hear what they said. So you usually have to say, all I need you to do is watch a quick video. I can send you the link, or listen to an audio. What would you prefer? And they pick. Honestly, I'm going to be straight up legit. These videos are awesome. They're great. They're good for people who like something quick and or visual. The Linda Tupin audio, close this door. It's timeless. It connects a woman's heart to what this opportunity is. And so I would say that this is just my personal opinion, that if you have someone watch a video and then they get together and they give their opinion and you really, really like them and you really think that they would be great, but it's just not there yet, I would actually ask them to listen to the Choices CD too. And I would give that to them at the appointment. So if they pick video and they don't connect, like it's not like, but you really would love to have them, I would give them the Choices CD to listen to. And I would have them, you can sign up and be a part of her like thing. She's got like a, I don't know what that's called. Somebody know what that's called?
It's just like online.
Yeah. You pay $5 a month and you always have access to it. And you can send it to whoever via a link. It's pretty awesome. Okay. So let's see. Okay, the last thing that I'll say about the setting up the interviews is that before you go to a party, I'm gonna do a couple different things, but before you go to a party, know your director's schedule, so that before you go, you know when she can do interviews that following week, because you're not setting interviews up next month. That's not gonna work. Like, you have to set up the interview. So after someone's like, yeah, I can help you. What do I have to do? Okay, watch this video or listen to the audio. I always just say, what's your life look like the next couple of days? What's life look like tomorrow or Friday? Hopefully my life looks good to have an appointment. If I'm so busy, crazy, you're awesome and that's great. Like, that can happen to us sometimes. But I would say, what's life look like tomorrow or Friday? Or tomorrow and Saturday? She's like, well, Friday I'm booked, but I could probably squeeze something in Saturday. Awesome. Where do you want to meet? I'm like going to them. I'm trying to like there are times when you can be like, you can come to me. It's not very often. Most of the time when you have a goal, you're willing to like sacrifice and do it. If they cannot physically meet you, then you can set up like a conference call. And I do the conference calls a lot. But if you're trying to still do interviews with me, you need to know my schedule before you get there so that you can say, Amber's available, blah, blah, blah. My director is going to meet me. I'm like, when I'm taking a promotion, I'm in training. She's going to be there. It's going to be awesome. Or you can jump on a conference call, and these are the times that she has available. I am going to set up a youbookme.com thing so that you can, like, it's a link that you can have on your phone that you can actually have access to when I can do interviews. Okay. And the other thing is, you don't need me that long. Most of you don't even need me anymore. We do a couple of these interviews together, and then you're good, and you don't have to worry about my schedule anymore. You just do the interviews on your own with your people when you want to do them. And you want to like keep me in the loop and maybe have them fill out some kind of survey at the interview so that I can follow up with them if you want me to. But you want to set it up within a couple of days. If you don't set it up within a couple of days, she's probably not going to be interested by the time it comes back around. If she's like no to the interview, but you really are connected to her and you really love to have her, invite her to the next thing. Invite her to the next makeover session portfolio thing and keep her in the loop. Always take her to the next thing. They say someone will not say no to you 4 times. So if she's like, oh, I don't want anything. Good. Thanks. Awesome. What do you want to learn at your second appointment? I'm good. I really don't need a second appointment. Awesome. Do you want to get anything for free? Nope. I'm good. All right, lady. I'm just kidding. You don't say it. You don't say that. You'll be in trouble. You say, all right, here's the last thing. The last way that you can help me. Would you be willing to, watch this video, give me your opinion of the opportunity? I can totally tell you're super sharp. You're a woman who knows what she wants. Would you be willing to give me your opinion? No. All right. Will you be a model for me? Typically on that 5th thing, she's not going to tell you no. She's going to be like, fine, I'll be a model for you. We're not into talking people into doing things that they don't want to do. But typically that's like, I don't know, is that true, Jessica? Is that like a psychological thing? I bet it worked with you. I bet Maggie asked you like 5 times and you were finally like, sure, I'll totally. It was 3. Yeah. I mean, sharp women, it's going to take a couple times. Because we don't like to say yes. We're programmed to say no. How many of you said no initially? So anything, like booking a party, being a phase interview. Took you a while. Women who are worth pursuing are worth pursuing. Just remember that. Okay. All right. So homework are you guys ready? Okay. This is big dog time. Are you ready? It's really not. Put together a hostess packet. Several of them. Hostess packets are lookbooks, outside orders or order sheets of some sort, your business card, and that's all that's kind of required. You can do other fun things in there if you want to. I like to put a sample of something and get her to try it before the party, because then she's like even more excited. And it's got to be a good thing. It's got to be like something. Well, they're all good. All of our stuff is good. Like this video, it's totally be redone. But it's like something really good, like a microderm sample or a foundation primer or something like yummy. And then you're going to practice your individual consultation out loud to yourself a couple times. Like record it. Like everybody in Voxer, you have a section that it's called My Notes, and you can record yourself and you can play it back and nobody gets it. You can accidentally forward things to people, so be careful. But record it. Funny story about recording things. I think you guys probably heard the story, but our Trailblazer, like our 2003 Trailblazer, when I started my business, that was our car. And it had this recordable feature in the car that you could record yourself. Like you could hit record. And I would record myself on the way to skincare classes. So funny. I would practice my skincare class, and then I would play it back. But I also practiced my affirmations, which is a whole other pace setters session. And it's still recorded on there, and my kids will listen to it as like a fun game. They're like, Mom, listen to you, because it's like, I'm awesome, I'm this. So it's like so funny. But like it helps, like recording yourself and listening back to yourself. Like, am I excited enough? Am I connecting to people? Do I sound like crazy? Like it just kind of helps you. Like, would I book with her? No, she doesn't sound excited at all. So you have to amp up your personality and the way that you talk to people. So practice individual, and then, all right, we have to do at least half of a bubble sheet this week. And I'm just really going to challenge you to nail a whole sheet. I'm really going to challenge you because, you guys, the bubble sheet is 53 spaces, right? 56 spaces. I totally know it there. 56. It's like 10 calls a day. And you're done. You're done early. Just 10 calls a day. What I like to do is I like to sit down and I like to nail it. I like to sit down for 2 hours and like get through it or get halfway through it. But homework is half a bubble sheet. Okay. You guys ready? All right. Peace out, people. Love you. Sorry, this was crazy.